Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome to another episode of Take the Points.
A true underdog podcast.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I haven't been
led into that one a little bit.
I haven't been digging Wilson's like, well. I think it's the classic's the way to go.
He's going to hear this, you know that, right?
But don't you think? I think Wilson's classic intro with his nice music to start, it's become legendary.
Yeah. We can also change it up.
I just don't want to lose that. You know, it's just been the OG. So
yeah.
Anyways, you're right.
But we can also evolve.
That's a great thing to say. Yeah.
Like Brad Holmes can evolve and actually trade for someone.
Not gonna happen.
Don't think so, huh?
Anyways, just Steve and I here today. As you can tell, as I've already made fun of Wilson in the first 15 seconds of the pod, and he's the one that does the editing of these. So, yeah, we are definitely back. Wilson is on his way to a show today, right, Steve, in Grand Rapids or something? Am I correct in that?
Yeah. He's going to rip it up in Grand Rapids, got a show.
Nice.
So, we can make fun of him all he wants because his life is like the way he lives. He's a rock star.
He is.
He lives a rock star life, and we don't. So
that is accurate. We're both in our guest bedrooms recording this pod while Wilson's on the road with his band getting paid to go on tour. So that's great. That's great. Good. Awesome.
Yeah, really love that for him.
Yeah. So while Wilson's off gallivanting, we are here. We're going to kind of do a shorty episode today, just kind of a quick way to start your week. I know we did a long one last week with a lot of different topics, but as my nickname is today on the internal podcast that you listeners cannot see, but all I have in here is the Lions are fine.
They're fine.
Right?
Everything's fine.
We're good. We're really talking Lions today. That's what we're going to talk football. Feels like the way to go. Maybe a little Michigan State. We'll see if we have time. But yeah, Lions obviously tough loss yesterday, 27-24, falling to the Vikings. I think they were 8.5-point favorites. So,
game was not as close as the score, too, by the way.
Yeah, that was okay. So Steve and I were talking about this before. Steve was audio yesterday. He was audio only. He decided to get out.
I was golfing. Get the last one of the year in.
I watched maybe 5 minutes in the first quarter, and then felt like the game was not going to go well. I just had one of those vibes after the second drive. I was like, this just doesn't feel right. And I was like, I want to have a good day today. So I went outside and mowed the lawn, brought in all the stuff outside, the lawn chairs, all that stuff, brought in the table, all that. So
the season change.
Right. And I took a fall day yesterday, and the Lions also fell, but from what I'm gathering too, just from the game yesterday, Steve, to your point, you want to elaborate, score not indicative of how far apart essentially you think Minnesota kicked our ass.
Yes, it was not a 3-point game. It wasn't one of those games where we couldn't get it, just Vikings squeaked one by us. No, they looked way better.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, start to finish.
Which is surprising for us coming out of a bye. I heard them talking about this on the radio day. It's like the third goose egg we've laid, really, with these prolonged off times. Like you look at the bye last year against Washington, we got our ass kicked. You look at the Packers game this year, that was an entire off season, got our ass kicked, and then yesterday, you could say the game, whether it was ass kicking to your point or just an all-out beatdown, maybe only 3 points, but feels like we've played down in all three of those games, essentially. I mean, the Packers took it to us, obviously, but at least against Washington and yesterday. But to me, the big thing I saw, at least, was just starting off was offensive line, even what I did watch. Goff just did not look comfortable. It did not look like he had time. Brian Flores was blitzing all over the place, and when Goff gets happy feet, things don't happen.
Sad things happen.
Very sad things. I think we had 46 rushing yards. I think that's tough.
And Goff's stat line wasn't terrible, right? He had 280 something yards or something like that, and some touchdowns.
Yeah.
No turnovers, but took some sacks. And the ground game just wasn't there. And that, man, when this offensive line isn't getting the job done, you notice it pretty quickly.
They were getting a lot of pressure up the gut yesterday, too. It looked like just right on Graham Glasgow. I know, to add just salt to the wound here, not only did they lose, but a lot of banged-up guys on the offensive line, right? Penei Sewell initially was fearful that he maybe hurt his shoulder. He ended up staying in the game. Sounds like he's going to be okay. I know Tate Ratledge came out, too, with what looked to be a shoulder. Sounds like he ended up coming back in the game. Taylor Decker went out a series, I think. And then the biggest one was Christian Mahogany getting rolled up there in the fourth quarter. Sounds like today, latest update, broken bone. Should be back, though. It's not like it's a soft tear issue, like an ACL, MCL, or anything like that. It's just a broken bone, so it's just going to be time away. But for an already somewhat depleted offensive line, I think really the past 3 weeks, if you really look at the stats, offensive line has definitely been struggling, which it's a spiral downward effect, whatever you want to say. You can't run the ball. You can't run play action. You're not controlling the line of scrimmage. That's
now
not
getting the ball out quicker, and it's a chain reaction when you're not running the ball. But I mean, the offensive line is that's usually been our strength, and we've all known that so far. And then how quickly it's changed in a year. Frank Ragnow retired, right? No fault to him there. You got to do what's best for you. But Graham Glasgow's a downgrade at center.
Yeah,
Mahogany and Ratledge were solid at the interior spots, but now Mahogany's down. And Taylor Decker, just how much longer is he going to be able to play? He's already getting load management practices.
This has got to be it this year, right?
I think so. I think at least he'll be a cap casualty, right? Just pay him the rest of his guaranteed money. And
it's just crazy timing to me that they gave him, a 3-year extension, I think, last year, in training camp, prior to last year in training camp. And then, comes out now that he's all banged up, and you're like, man, is this, you really look at the offensive line. This is where my, concern comes in. You look at the long-term stability of the offensive line. It's pretty much, hopefully Ratledge, Mahogany, and Sewell is obviously going to be your guy, but center and left tackle have to be priority number one.
Yeah.
1 and 2 in the draft. I would think a center has to be on the cards.
And that's a great point, and that impacts your trade deadline moves too, because you're not going to give. I don't think Brad Holmes is going to give up a first-round pick because he needs that pick in the late 20s to go and get
for sure
a center, or I mean, you can still get a left tackle there, but you're getting probably the third or fourth best tackle on the board,
right?
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of those guys turn out to be all pros, but yeah, I mean, now the draft capital is become more valuable than ever.
100%.
Especially having locked up Hutch and all these things too. There's still salary cap room, but it's going to be an interesting. What is it? 24 hours, Robbie?
Yeah. Tomorrow's tomorrow's the trade deadline. So I mean, just to end on yesterday, and then we can jump into the trade deadline stuff. To me, off game, knowing we didn't play our best, Steve, having watched intermittently, was them losing 27-24. It wasn't some 14-point drubbing. Not that happens a lot in the NFL. So it's like we didn't play our best, and we still only lost by 3. Is the optimistic side of me, right? We had a field goal blocked. But there was some
special teams were terrible.
Pretty much failure across the board, honestly.
Yeah.
The defense, from what I could see from the defense, they were getting pressure, but they just weren't getting home. There just wasn't a ton of those big plays. Terry Arnold got his first pick, which was great to see, but this is also where you look at Kirby Joseph being out, right? Now the cornerback depth, it felt to me like that game against Tampa where we had these no-name dudes just crushing it, like that.
The Legion of whom?
And it's like that's a one game surge. You know what I mean? It's like I'm smelling the sniffing salts, and then it's like after that you're coming back down to maybe reality a bit, which this is where over the 15, like we saw last year, 17 game season, you got to have guys in there that are capable of playing cornerback in the NFL. And Amik Robertson, love him, and Terry Arnold, love him, but they're not DJ Reed, they're not Kirby Joseph being in there, which is I think that just showed a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, this defense didn't look like they were getting the pressure up front as much either. Yeah. Which, again, there you talk about the trade deadline. Maybe that's a good segue into it. But, where do you go from, I think just a couple weeks ago, we played Tampa Bay and beat them.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, we look great. I don't think we need much help. And now, fast forward 2 weeks, it's like we need offensive line help. We need safeties. We need, it's just, it's tough.
I think the draft capital thing, to your point, I was thinking about this today too, was, this is where the decisions of the past just creep their head a little bit, right? Like you look at Philadelphia making a move today with Miami, giving up a 3rd round pick in this upcoming draft for a defensive end. But this is where you look at the Isaac Tesla pick, right? hasn't done much yet. I know he's a pick for the future, but you essentially traded 3 first-round picks for him. And so now, to your point, Steve, you're left with an inflated salary cap next year, right? You're going to be under the gun, and these cheap contracts from young guys become important. You don't have a third-round pick to shell, so you pretty much have I think they have a first, a second, a fourth,
2 fourths. Yeah, I just looked at it right now. They have 2 fourths, a fifth, a sixth, and seventh.
Yeah, so it's
no third rounder. So you can move. You're looking, if they're going to make a move this year, you're going to move someone for probably and give up maybe a 4th round pick, and that's that's the Zadarius Smith type move that they made last year, which is good.
Yeah.
Right, and maybe they go and get like Kevin Zeitler back from Tennessee, who's they're terrible, and he, that's a guy that can come in and basically plug and play.
That's so dumb. We didn't re-sign him. I still don't get that one, but that's
yeah.
I know. I can't go back. I know we can't. I want to be optimistic, but so needs at the deadline. There's rumors. Take these rumors for what they are. But there's rumors we were looking at a cornerback, which wouldn't have been a shock. I think defensive end is still on the table. Offensive line's weird to me, Steve, because it's rare to see depth offensive line pieces get moved outside of a major injury, like your left tackle goes down and you got to trade for one. So I don't know. I don't even know who's out there in the trade market for offensive line, but that one's a little tougher,
Yeah, and it's not really a position that teams are looking to move on from.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Even if you're having a shitty year, and let's say you're having a shitty year, or you're someone like Carolina, right? Who's like you're still in this rebuild process. You don't want to leave Bryce Young to get his ass kicked.
No.
Right? You have to protect your quarterback. Yeah. So the offensive line pieces never really get moved. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, how about Howie Roseman today too, huh? I mean, does that team just Jalen Phillips was a great deal. I mean, they gave up a 3rd round pick for him. I think he's got 3 sacks this year or something like that in 9 games. That's the type of guy I think the Lions are going after. And you look at a guy like him, last year of his deal, Reno player, that went for a 3rd round pick. So people are like, oh, I want to go get Trey Hendrickson. That's fine, but you're giving up a 1st or 2nd to go straight up to get him.
Yeah.
So
now you think where does your 2027 picks come into the play?
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
But but I don't think we have a 3rd round in 2027 either, so it's
that's where I think Holmes gets into this game sometimes in the draft, which I understand. It's he sees a guy like Tesla, and I'm sure he might be great, but that's what. Imagine right now if you're sitting here, I'm just saying, with 2 3rd round picks this year, you're like, all right, I can shell one, I still get my picks. You're in a better spot, but I mean, in terms of depth and need for this team, it's hard for me not to overreact. Steve, you probably feel the same way. We're not as bad as we were yesterday. We're not maybe as good as we were against Tampa Bay. The odds are we are somewhere in the middle there. It's just you look at the division too. Things are getting tight now, right? You got Packers lost yesterday to Carolina, which was unexpected. We lost to Minnesota, which was unexpected. Mm-hmm. Then you have Chicago. You got to give Ben Johnson some credit, man.
Some wings off.
Although, Steve, side note, did you see? I don't know if you. I think it was Aaron Glenn 2 weeks ago when the Jets won their first game, and he's in the locker room and he gave his post-room locker room speech, and he's like, "That's what I call grit." And I was like, "Whoa,
don't you dare, dude! Don't do it,
Aaron. We got to cool off on the grit talk. That's
your own term, buddy.
Right? Yeah. But
hustle. I mean, just that's what I call hustle.
Right, 100%.
Right. That sounds very New York. Right.
Yeah. That's Aaron Glenn being like, that's what you could tell almost when he said it. He was like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said grit," because that's a Lions thing. But anyway, so the point is the Bears are there. If you look today at the playoff standings, the playoffs started today. The Lions would be the last team in the playoffs. That's because they have a win directly over the Bears. Otherwise, it'd be down to them and the Bears. So this is where we saw this that year in San Francisco. Right? It's you feel like you're good. Odds are you got to make a move. They got to do something. I just have no, Steve, it's like we talked about last week. I just have no prior history to showcase that they're going to go do anything super impactful. So Zadarius had to happen because Aiden Hutchinson broke his leg. Without that, I don't think they make that deal. I don't think it happens, which is where I'm concerned about, will Brad actually make a move? I don't know if he's got the right capital to do it, to your point, without going to 2027. or if there's a guy out there that he really think is, I think I see him struggling to sign somebody or trade for somebody, I should say, that's going to be on a short-term contract.
Yeah. But then it's like what then what do you do, right? You go and get like a Max Crosby. You're going to have to give up a ton for him.
Yeah.
Right. Anybody on a long-term deal is going to cost more. Anybody on an expiring deal, you don't have enough assets to be comfortable paying that price. It's a tough spot for Brad to be in. And I think we talked about it before the season. I don't think this was going to be a 15, 14 win year.
No.
We're looking like 11, 10 squeaking in type team.
Which
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I believe it, and I see what they're building makes sense, right? They're putting together like a cohesive plan.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, just the injuries again too this year. Like who would have thought another year, just your secondaries all out and your O line's now tagged with injuries.
And Marcus Davenport, who would have thought that guy was going to get hurt? He's healthy every year.
Yeah, right.
5 minutes
Pascal.
later, dead.
Josh Pascal.
Yeah, they've had some untimely injuries. It's more to their depth guys too, which is what's hurting them. For the most part, outside of Kirby Joseph, like the aces and the horses have been good. Whatever you want to use, like DJ Reed was a big blow. Him going out, he was playing great, but every team's got injuries. Look at this upcoming game this weekend, right? Like look at Washington. Did you see that last night? Or you're playing Jaden Daniels getting blown out in a game in the fourth quarter, and he dislocates his elbow. I mean. Imagine if that was Jared Goff, because Campbell would have left his ass in that game. He would be getting raked over the coals right now if that was
But I mean, that could again that can happen.
No, it's more when it happened. My first thought was like, hell yeah for us, because now we got Marcus Mariota next week. Which
true.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Take him over Jaden Daniels, and they got a banged up team.
But again, you can't.
I know.
You can't overlook them, right? This can't be a trap game. So
yeah. We'll see. We'll see what shakes out. Okay, Steve. So number one position of need for you on this team. You are Brad Holmes. He says, Steve, you got to take over for me. You're my designated survivor. You can make one move on this team. What position is it, or is there a player that you're like, gotta go get him?
Oh man, dude, that's so hard. Do you have anyone? I don't have anyone in mind specifically.
To me, it's knowing what my answer would still be the common answer of I still strongly believe it is in the defensive line help. I think it's someone on the interior of your defensive line or the edge. I think an offensive lineman that is going to be meaningful outside of who you already have on the roster. Like Awasika played in that NFC title game. He played pretty well. You got Dan Skipper that can step in. Mm-hmm. You got that Roberto Colon or whatever the hell his name is, that like he's a veteran guy that can step in.
Yeah, we drafted another guard this year too, that Miles Frazier or whatever. I don't know if
he's been hurt. He's still on IR. I think they're trying to get him back. I think he maybe started his clock. So that's why I think just of what's going to be available, it's generally corners and defensive end. I don't think we need any help offensively outside of the line if they were to pick up somebody, but I'd still say defensive line, like create as much havoc as you can. And you got to look at the bottom feeder teams, like you said, of like who essentially, could that be that you're probably gonna go after, right? You already saw Miami trading off guys. Does Tennessee, to your point, become sellers? Does Cincinnati become sellers outside of even?
They should. I mean,
right? You got to.
I know we're not doing a Cincinnati podcast here, but you think you have one of the best quarterbacks of this generation in Joe Burrow. Just hurt, right? This is the perfect year for them to just tank, collect assets, and build around that guy.
Right.
Like it makes entirely no sense to hang on to anybody. That's why I think if I were going to answer your question, I still think Trey Hendrickson makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he does.
His stat-wise, like he's not having an outstanding year stat-wise.
Right.
And he's on a one-year deal that he's going to walk away from. Cincinnati has to trade him. I don't think anyone's going to give up a first-round pick for him because he's going to walk. He's a rental, so I don't know. Maybe it's something you package together, like a 2026 fourth, and like a 2028 second. I don't know.
I just why would Cincinnati not deal him? Like what?
You have to.
Like that's just like inept front office when I see that. Like if I'm the Titans, if I'm the Saints, if you're Cincinnati, I mean Burrow's dead to the world. Like you got to make the right decision for the future. If the Lions right now were sitting at 1-7, I'd be telling you trade assets.
Everybody.
Like
yes.
That's how this league works. That's how you get yourself kickstarted again. At the end of the day, we saw this like it's going to take. My guess is if they're going to move Hendrickson, they're going to want a second at least, just a second round pick straight up to move him. And it's like, would I do that now, knowing I get what 8 games of him? Like I think I know it's hard, but it's like
I probably would,
because
but it just makes it tough because then you don't have a third round. Now you get a first round pick and you don't pick again for 100 picks.
I guess what you would do is kind of what the Niners did when they got Chase Young or whatever, where it's like you trade for him, you give him a qualifying offer next year, he walks, you end up getting a comp pick for him. So like you give up a second next year to get a third the following or whatever it is if you don't.
Yeah.
Because Lions are not going to be big players in free agency. They're just not. They're going to re-sign Laporta and Branch, and they're going to add some smaller supplemental ads, which that's a game a lot of teams play is how do I get these like the Eagles have made a killing in that. They're going to do the same thing with what's his nuts that they just traded for. They're going to give him a qualifying. He's going to walk, and they're like my thing is to watch the Rams, see what they're going to do because they look really fucking good.
They look
Seahawks look really good. Packers still look good. Bears look good, and Green Bay. Like those are your squads to kind of watch to figure out. Or I'm sorry, in Philly, like in the NFC, like Philly made a move. Now are you gonna equal it? So,
and even Philly doesn't look like the same Philly as last year. So I still think the NFC is wide open.
100%. Yeah,
it's gonna come down to who's healthy, and to be honest, I think I'd rather be unhealthy now than later in the year, right? So if you think DJ Reed's coming back, Kirby Joseph's coming back, you got Pascal coming back, Aleem McNeil's getting up to game speed.
Malcolm.
If
Malcolm Rodriguez,
right? Exactly. So
that's something.
The defense, I think, is going to get some reinforcements. That's why I think maybe they don't.
Yeah, do anything crazy. Yeah,
do much.
Maybe you give up a fifth or something for a corner.
Right,
That's just a depth piece or something. Yeah, just to.
Yeah.
And again, Brad Holmes has shown no willingness, which I understand, outside of the draft, to trade capital. Like Zadarius Smith was the worst kept secret last year. Everyone knew that was going to happen. He wanted to be here. His girlfriend was here. Like, dude, how about that guy? We don't re-sign him. He goes to Philly. He plays 5 games and then retires. Like what? Steve, I wanted to ask real quick, and then we can wrap. I know we're doing a shorty here, but okay. First, Washington this weekend. We'll see what happens. Lions should win this game. They have to win this game.
I think you have to.
This is like a show out game. Steve, college football. I want to talk about this real quick. Michigan State. Jonathan Smith, his days are numbered at this point. I mean, this
absolutely have to be numbered.
And can I just say, I did watch Michigan on Saturday, and I know you're a Michigan fan, Steve. Damn, they're boring to watch.
For sure.
I don't know. I have no juice for college football this year. Like
Me too.
It's dead to me. I don't know if it's
number 2 team, Indiana. Who the fuck would have thought that?
Yeah, I just have no. I'm watching the Michigan game on Saturday. I didn't really watch much of Michigan State just because there hasn't been much good to watch there. I mean, Jonathan Smith has got to be on the chopping block. It's got to be a matter of time at this point. But, I'm watching the Michigan game, and it's funny. It's like you look at Bryce Underwood's stats. It was like probably second quarter when I checked, and he's like, 9 for 12 for 87 yards and a pick. And they're just running. They're just absolutely rolling on the ground, just running a ton. And they're so opposite of like what every other football team is, which is like we're spreading the offense out, we're throwing the ball deep. It's like, of course, our 2 teams, one of them sucks. Michigan State's horrible, and Michigan is just boring as hell to watch.
They are boring. And I think, you have a true freshman quarterback in Michigan, and I think that has a big impact on it. You don't want to – I don't think that's not a kid that you want to go and just murder his confidence off the bat. So I think they're just taking a more conservative approach. And – yeah, but you're right. Like, there's no juice for me for college football this year.
But
Jonathan
do you think
Smith,
that's a Michigan thing? Like, do you think that's because they're not good, or do you think are you feeling the NCAA, NIL?
I feel like overall, there's no Alabama this year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like no one. And you look at, I think part of it too for me is you look at the way these teams were projected to be.
Yeah.
Preseason,
Yeah.
Like, oh, Texas ranked number 2. Texas is ass.
I don't think Arch Manning is that good.
No, not at all. That's what I mean. There's a lot of hype, and I think, we'll go down to a rabbit hole in this eventually one day too, but like the transfer portal has ruined this game.
I agree.
Right? You don't know. You have no expectations coming into the year, and the expectations you have are completely inflated by all this bullshit. Right? All these guys are super hyped, and then you just fall apart. And coaches are moving, kids are moving. It's just, sucks.
If you said right now for $1 million, Robbie, I need you to name 7 players that are on Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, or Georgia that are the top 5 teams in the country, Steve, I think I would. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't.
Like, that is, even you look at basketball, which is going to start up here soon, right, as we kind of get into the winter months, like, that's just another microcosm of this, too. There's just less guys on the team, so I'm more familiar with getting to know them, but that's where, I'm a MAC guy, too, so I definitely don't have a lot of, like, skin in the game at all from a football perspective, but I look at these, because it's a 12-team playoff this year, so, like, right now, Virginia would be the 12th team or whatever, but it's like Ohio State, sure, Indiana, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Virginia. Like, you got some big names in there, of course. I don't
know who those people. I don't know who plays for those guys. Like,
and that's where it's like that's where it's sad to see, because I feel like it used to be like Saturday, Sunday for me. It was like, all right, Saturday's all day college football. What's the SEC game on Saturday night? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm dialing in. It's Georgia, Bama. It's
Auburn.
And those games still happen, but it's just there's so much movement now that when I don't know the players, I never thought I would be that way. I don't know the players pretty much at all. I mean, I know the names. I just don't know what team they're on because they move every offseason. And it's because of that. I'm not tuning in to be like, I'm just using a dumb example, but it's like when Manti Te'o played for Notre Dame, it's like that was a guy.
Manti Te'o and his fake girlfriend.
Right, exactly. Like,
awesome. One of the best stories in sports ever.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I can't believe that was my example. Or like Vince Young, right?
Shout out to Matt Tuiasosopo, his cousin, who's brokered that deal and played for the Tigers.
Love Tuiasosopo. Great jersey. The fact that thing went all the fucking way around the back of his jersey was incredible. Anyways, I just think the college football thing is just, it's been baffling to me. It's sad. I don't have any juice to turn on. If it's on,
the wins, the games aren't as important. You know, a 3-loss team's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, didn't Notre Dame lose their first 2 games? And they're rolling. They're 7-0 since then, and they're going to make the playoff.
Right. Even if they lose one more, they'll probably get in as late seed. So
even Michigan, though, Steve. Even Michigan's going to have a shot to get in. Like, that's
sure.
Like, if they beat Ohio State, like they're going to at least. I mean, they'll get to Indianapolis for the Big Ten title game. Like, they're going to have and like I said, I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're any.
Yeah, and I think another thing too is this 12-team playoff really minimized the impact of like a good bowl game, right? Where like if you're like a 19 seat, like if you're like a 19th ranked team. You'd be like, okay, like we got the number 5 team on our schedule. If we knock them off or play them well, we could get into the Citrus Bowl or something like a bigger bowl game, right? And like those games don't matter. Like, not that they mattered before, but it's just like there's no juice behind them.
Yeah.
And I mean, my closing thought on college football is I hope one day I suck so bad at my job that my boss pays me $50 million to not do it anymore. Like
Brian Kelly.
Exactly. like Jonathan Smith's going to have happen. Like,
crazy,
that's
dude.
the life.
I was just reading an article about that, Steve, that said, just with everything going on in our country right now, I don't care right, left, in the middle, whatever it is, it's like you got food stamps getting shut off, you got like economic down turmoil in certain areas, which is always a constant. Then you got some dude that's like making 50 mil to get the hell out, and it's like it shows you.
Or in LSU's case, like it's coming from like the taxpayers or whatever.
Yeah.
That, like the governor is weighing in on it. It's like, what planet are we on?
That whole thing was nuts. Where the AD, essentially, the governor's like, no, the AD's not hiring this. I am, because he's going to be the highest paid person in the entire freaking state.
Yeah. Which is insane to think about.
And it's also just like, I don't know where it's the juice.
Unless
for me.
Lil Wayne's in Louisiana, I guess.
I mean, that'd be sick.
Wheezy's rolling.
You love you some Wheezy.
I love Wheezy.
Yeah. Anyways, just
Yeah.
we
That's
could
the
probably
state
be
of
old,
college football.
Yes. Yeah. We could be old men and talk about it. Last thing, Steve, I got to ask, and then we can wrap. I know we're already at 30 minutes. World Series. Did you watch the game on Friday? That was crazy.
Dude, it was a great World Series. It was awesome. Shohei Ohtani's incredible.
He's so good, dude.
The Blue Jays were so close to winning the World Series on multiple occasions. Freak things. That ball in Game 6, that ball getting wedged under the fence.
Insane that the odds,
ridiculous.
Insane. By the way, I also hate that rule. I think it's the dumbest rule ever. That if it gets lodged there, it's a DeGrom rule double. I just think it's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
sure,
terrible.
like the grass at Wrigley, I get. All right, you can't be going there and finding it, but like it's right there. Like just go grab it.
Yeah, and he just throws his hand. Yeah, but it was a good world. It really was a good World Series. The Dodgers, man, the evil empire, the new evil empire.
How about? I mean, yeah, I agree. I was pulling so hard for Toronto. I wanted them to win. I mean, they came with a slide at home base, right? A spike of winning that game. I mean. Just crazy.
A toe away from winning that game.
I would say outside maybe of that St. Louis series, what it was maybe 10 years ago when David Freese, when he hit that shot to tie the game, I think it was against Texas, right? Because it was
Cleveland, Chicago, 10 years ago was great too. Rajai Davis, the grand slam, in Game 7,
Even on Saturday, was it Miguel Rojas hits their ninth guy hits an oppo shot to tie the game, and then throws the guy out at the home plate after double clutching on the
an incredible play and almost falling. Yeah, that was. I mean, baseball. That's when you watch a game like it, or like the 15-inning game, the 18-inning game. That's when you watch baseball and you're like, this game fucking rules, dude. Like, you play a lot of games during the season, and it's tough to watch sometimes.
It's so good,
but like you get to October, and
there's nothing like it
when every pitch matters. Man, that's great.
There's nothing. And we got to give Yamamoto, first of all, Max Scherzer pitched great. That dude's an assassin. And how about Yamamoto pitching the freaking day before through 100 and some pitches and comes out and throws two pitches to Tara Skubal. I don't care what you say. Take freaking notes, dude. Like, I don't want to hear any of that bullshit anymore. Like,
well, listen, free agency starts on Thursday, right?
I can't wait.
Bring Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander back, and I don't mean that as a joke. I would bring them both here.
I would bring at least one of them here because I bet they would both potentially want to be here.
Oh, I think Verlander comes back and retires here, but I think trade Skubal, getting for the money you paid the dead body of Alex Cobb, you could have got Justin Verlander.
Yeah, it would have been, in hindsight, it would have been 100% the right move.
So
and I think Flaherty's opting out.
I think too. We'll deep dive into that because all that stuff should be sorted out.
Yeah, we should get into that
by the next time we're on. So we can dig into that a little bit.
Yeah, that's sweet. Anyways, I just wanted to see if you caught the World Series just because I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun World Series to watch. But
it really was. It was great.
Anyways, okay. Well, we're at what 33. We're probably going to cut it there. Just kind of a shorty this week, and we'll be back on next week to talk MLB trade deadline free agency, what happened. But other than that, Steve-O, you got anything else to add, or are you good?
Nah, man. I'm good. Be easy, everyone.
Okay. So rate, review, subscribe, check us out. You already know where to find us, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. We will be back next week on another episode of Take the Points.
True Underdog Podcast.
We out. See ya.
Peace.